Robbie got going and we got going as a team. And, the big 3-run homer tonight, ends up being the game-winning hit. But it seemed like when he got hot, he started to get hot. We took off. Our offense took off a little bit.
When you look at Ivan Nova tonight, did get into some trouble in the third and in the fourth, but kind of minimized the damage. How pleased are you with his ability to do that tonight?
I thought he did a pretty good job, but not pitching for 10 days. And then he had, he had a little bit longer layoff, a little long layoff between his, leaving spring training and his first start. And then he had 10 days for this start. I thought he pitched the best in the fourth and the fifth, which to me is a pretty good sign. And hopefully he'll just continue to do that. He had to be a little rusty. There's no doubt about it for me. But I thought he did a nice job getting us through 5 tonight.
Dave?
Joe, you mentioned some of the rust, but in some of those strikeouts, he threw some great pitches to get those guys. Why the discrepancy, you think? With it? Sometimes do you think he locked in a little better than others? Or
No, I just, when you're a starting pitcher and you're used to going every 5 days, or you might go on your 6th day once in a while. I mean, he's had 2 starts, in about 20 days is basically, is what he's had. So it's hasn't been a good rhythm for him. I think he just kind of found himself at the end there. And he had a good curveball. For the most part, that's what he had tonight for the whole game was the curveball. And his fastball came to me a little bit in the 4th and the 5th. It seemed to get better, and he had a little bit better control of it. But his curveball was his pitch tonight that helped him get through.
Who else? Sweeney.
On a night when everybody's wearing 42, how did the real 42 look to you?
Pretty good. It's kind of funny seeing 42 face 3 42s. It's not going to happen very often. But I thought our bullpen did a tremendous job, starting with Boone, getting the 4 hitters that he faced, and then Jabba getting the 2, and then Robbie doing what he did. I thought our guys did a great job.
Meredith.
Joe, Boone got off to a little bit of a slow start to the season, but it seems the past couple times he's been in there, he's performed much better. What have you seen to be the difference in him?
It could be for him. He's just kind of getting through what he had to work through in spring training. I thought today he had the most life he's had on his fastball. I thought he had the best command that he's had. And we've seen Boone throw very well, so I didn't doubt that he would get going. And he hasn't thrown in about 8 days. We've had him up, but I just think, he threw a couple times probably, during that 8-day stretch, and he felt good tonight and looked really good.
John.
Joe, Cano seems to do a lot of damage at times on off-speed stuff. Is there something about him that makes him such a good hitter against that change-ups off-speed?
Well, I think he has the ability to hit the ball to all fields. Robbie's never been a guy that's just been strictly a pull guy. So he's not afraid to hit the ball out the other way on a fastball, as we saw him do it a couple times in Cleveland. So I think that allows him to cover, a larger variety of pitches and speeds, because he doesn't just sit fast, fastball and say, I need to pull it, I'll hit it the other way. And I think he's able to adjust the pitches better.
John, can you hand it right behind you?
Joe, it's probably already a tired topic, but you've seen guys with contract uncertainty come out and look shaken or rattled or whatever. To see Cano just do his business like this and get off to this kind of start, what does it kind of say about him?
Well, I think it talks about the type of personality he has. I don't think Robbie really worries a whole lot about it. I think Robbie knows that he's a good player, but Robbie goes out and works very hard at his trade. He doesn't take for granted that he's a good player, and understands that, the contract's going to take care of itself. I mean, that's the bottom line. And probably no matter what happens this year, he's probably going to end up with a pretty good contract. I mean, that's the bottom line. So I think Robbie's relaxed. He's always played relaxed. I think sometimes people have seen Robbie and taken that maybe a little bit the wrong way about how relaxed he plays. But he likes to have fun. He loves going out there, and I think he's enjoying himself.